Greetings to all who wish to be greeted. I'm Dahlia Doll, and this is Scholastic Haiku, the game show where knowledge rules. I am joined today by my lovely contestants from Centralia and Vienna. I pronounced it incorrectly during the practice, and Vienna didn't correct me. I guess they want their host to be wrong. Hopefully they won't be, though. Playing for Vienna, we have Heather, Ethan, Brady, and Bryce. Playing for Centralia, we have Carter, Braden, Mira, and Jeremiah. Did I pronounce all your names correctly? Fantastic. Today, we are going to be doing so many things that Olivia would be doing normally. However, I am substituting in as she is getting acorns for the winter. So, we're going to start with toss-up questions. How that is going to work is I'm going to ask a question, and whoever buzzes in first gets to answer first. However, if you answer incorrectly, the other team gets to steal. And if you interrupt me while I'm asking, the other team gets 5 points automatically, in addition to getting to steal if you get it wrong. So, interrupt me at your own risk. You better know your stuff if you interrupt me. Players, are you ready? Strong silent types, I like it. Let's start with question 1. What year saw the shooting of protesters at the Plaza de las Tres Culturas in the Mexico City Olympics and the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy? Carter.
1963.
That is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
No.
Thank you, Brady. The answer was 1968. Question 2. What quantity, which is proportional to a system's number of microstates, is a state function denoted S, capital S, that is a measure of randomness or disorder?
Entropy?
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. You get to answer the bonus question then, and that will go to all of you in Centralia. You don't have to buzz in for that. By atomic mass, the heaviest element currently known is what noble gas whose atomic symbol is OG? That's capital O, lowercase g.
Ogium?
That is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Brady.
Oganesson.
That is correct. Oganesson. That is correct. That will go to you. Toss-up number 3. What author wrote about Rob Horton's discovery of a caged beast in The Tiger Rising and depicted a princess saved by a mouse in The Tale of Despero? Carter.
Miller.
That is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
No.
Thank you, Brady. We were looking for Kate DiCamillo. Kate DiCamillo. In Greek myth, what king of Phrygia was rewarded for helping a friend of Dionysus by getting his wish of having everything he touched?
Midas.
That is correct, Jeremiah. King Midas. We've also accepted Midas's touch. That means you get the bonus question. What chief of the Nez Perce declared he would fight no more forever after resisting the U.S. government's efforts to forcibly remove his tribe?
Crazy Horse?
That is incorrect, Braden. That's the name of a song, as far as I know. Vienna, would you like to steal?
No.
That's real, Brady. That's real. But I appreciate you telling me like it is. It is Chief Joseph or Young Joseph. That was the answer we were looking for. Toss-up. What 2023 film? Oh, there's more question. in which Dante Reyes, played by Jason Momoa, seeks revenge on Dom's crew, was the latest installment in a street race. Jeremiah?
Fast X.
That is correct. Fast X, a Roman numeral for 10. They think they're good enough for Roman numerals. Bonus question, what theorem's equation is the same as the one in the Pythagorean theorem when the exponent n, lowercase n, equals 2?
I defer to Carter.
NA plus NB equals NC.
That is, I don't think I can take that. It doesn't say I can here. So, Vienna,
We do not have an answer.
you don't have the answer. We're looking for Fermat's last theorem. I don't know what that is, but I'm not as smart as you all. That's why I'm the host, am I right? And you all are the contestants. So, media question. Please turn your attention to the television set where you will see an image and have to answer a question based on that. This CGI movie from 2012 tells the tale of a video game villain. Mira.
Wreck-It Ralph.
That is correct. Wreck-It Ralph. Oh, love that movie. That's got to be my favorite Disney movie. Gotta be. Toss-up number 6. What invertebrate phylum's member, many of whom use a radula to feed, often have an external calcium shell?
Mollusks.
That is correct. Mollusks. You get to answer the bonus question then. The dragons Thorn and Saphira fight above the burning plains of Alagasia in what author's 2005 novel, Eldest, which is part of his inheritance cycle?
Paulini.
That is correct. Christopher James Paolini. Toss-up number 7. What president, whose term is often called the era of good feelings, ran virtually unopposed in 1820 and proposed a namesake foreign policy doctrine? Carter.
Monroe.
That is correct. James Monroe. We would have also accepted the Monroe Doctrine. You get to answer the bonus question, Centralia. What Big Ten schools basketball team, which is coached by Matt Painter, lost to 16 seed Fairleigh Dickinson in the 2023 NCAA tournament?
Umich.
Say again?
Umich.
That is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
Not at all.
Not sports people, huh? I get it. I'm not much of a sports gal myself. Purdue University would have also accepted the Purdue Boilermakers, and I'm supposed to prompt on Boilermakers. You know, my mom really doesn't like them. They were her enemy when she was in school. Toss-up number 8. In October 2023, what California politician who gave security video of the January 6 riots to Tucker Carlson was deposed as Speaker of the House? Mira.
Nancy Pelosi.
Incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
No.
That's real. Kevin McCarthy. Pencil and paper ready. It's a math question. What is the positive root of the quadratic expression x squared minus x minus 12 given the other root is -3? Carter.
4.
That is correct. X equals 4. You get to answer the bonus question. What church and charitable organization was founded in London in 1865 by the Methodist preacher William Booth?
The Salvation Army.
That is correct. Now, I hope you brought your umbrellas because it's time for the illustrious, the terrifying lightning round. You will get a choice of from multiple categories, and then you will answer questions within 60 seconds. Vienna, because you're behind, you get to choose which category. SI units, nude paintings, song collaborations, or Switzerland.
We would like to go with SI units.
SI units at SIU Carbondale. You will have 60 seconds. Are you ready? Your time starts in 3, 2, 1. What is length?
Meters.
Correct. And you do get to pass if you don't know it. What is time?
Seconds.
Correct. What is frequency?
Hertz.
Correct. What is resistance?
Ohms.
Correct. What is power?
Volts.
That is incorrect. What is pressure?
Pass.
What is capacitance?
Amps.
That is incorrect. What is mass?
Grams.
That is incorrect. What is magnetic flux?
Pass.
What is luminous intensity?
Lumens.
That is incorrect. And you're out of time. Power was watts. Pressure was pascals. I nearly gave it to you when you said pass. Capacitance was farads. Mass was kilograms. Magnetic flux was Webers. And luminous intensity was candelas. Centralia. Nude paintings, song collaborations, or Switzerland?
We're gonna go with song collaborations.
Fantastic. Your 60 seconds begins in 3, 2, 1. Britney Spears, Hold Me Closer, a remake of his Tiny Dancer.
Elton John.
Correct. Ed Sheeran, Perfect Duet.
Pass.
BB Rexa, Seasons. She sang 9 to 5.
Dolly Parton.
Correct. Eminem, The Monster.
Pass.
Charlie Puth, See You Again.
Wiz Khalifa.
That is correct. Lainey Wilson, Save Me.
Pass.
Shawn Mendes, Senorita, and
Camila-
I Know What You Did Last Summer. She was in Fifth Harmony.
Camila Cabello.
Correct. Taylor Swift, Fortnite.
Post Malone.
Correct. The Kid Lowry, Stay.
Justin Bieber.
That is correct. David Guetta, Titanium.
Britney Spears.
Is incorrect. Ed Sheeran, sorry, you're out of time. Ed Sheeran, Perfect Duet was Beyonce. Let's see here. Eminem's The Monster was Rihanna. Lainey Wilson was Jelly Roll. And David Guetta's Titanium was Sia. Back to the toss-up questions, players. What epic poem, which begins with the adventures of the Lady Una and the virtuous Red Cross Knight, was written in the 1590s by Edmund Spenser? Braden.
The Red Crusade.
Is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
No, we would not.
We were looking for the Fairy Queen. Media question, please turn your attention to the television set. In 1962, Sam Walton founded this.
Walmart.
That is correct, and it's not even up on the screen. That is correct. Toss-up number 11. What leader who launched a global infrastructure project called it Belt and Road and ended the two-child philosophy in Carter?
Xi Jinping.
That is correct. Bonus. What surname is shared by former Filipino dictator Ferdinand and his son nicknamed Bong Bong, who was elected president of the Philippines in 2022?
France.
That is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
Castro.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for Marcos. Looking for Marcos. Toss up. What molecules that bind at A, P, and E sites in the ribosome are a form of RNA that brings amino acids to a protein chain during translation? Braden.
Messengers.
That is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
No.
We were looking for tRNAs, transfer RNAs. Toss up number 13. What Chinese dynasty whose first emperor adopted legalism as a state philosophy ended the Warring States period and was followed by the Han Dynasty? Carter.
The Jin Dynasty.
Yes, the Qin Dynasty. That is correct. So you get to answer the bonus. What author depicted the cutthroat world of real estate sales in his expletive-filled Pulitzer Prize-winning 1984 play Glengarry Glen Ross?
Tennessee Williams.
That is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
No.
We were looking for David Mamet. David Mamet. Toss up number 14. What position is managed by a person called a camerlengo between the death of one holder and the election of another one by the College of Cardinals? Carter.
Archbishop.
That's incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
Bishop.
That is correct. We're looking for regular bishop. Bonus. Belly Conklin navigates a love triangle with brothers Jeremiah and Conrad in what Amazon Prime Video series based on a YA trilogy by Jenny Han?
No answer.
We're looking for The Summer I Turned Pretty. Not no answer. Sorry, Brady. 15. What river, which is fed by the Lualaba in the second longest river in Africa and gives its name to a country whose capital is Kinshasa? Carter.
The Zambia River.
That's incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
Congo.
That is correct. The Congo River. That is correct. You get to answer the bonus question now. In 1936, Italian forces deposed what emperor of Ethiopia, who is regarded as an incarnation of God by Rastafari movement?
We do not have an answer.
Centralia, would you like to steal?
No.
All right, no answer from either of you. We were looking for Haile Selassie. Haile Selassie. This is a media question now. Please turn your attention to the television set. This Disney XD animated series stars in Mira.
Oh, Phineas and Ferb.
That is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal? Would you like me to read the whole question?
Yes, please.
This Disney XD animated series stars an overly optimistic 13-year-old boy. He has inherited a family curse, which bestows all male members of his family with bad luck. The show demonstrates the various ways he and his friends prepare for misfortune to ensue. Name this cartoon.
No response.
We were looking for Milo Murphy's Law. And Dan Povenmire was just here at SIU, too. Toss-up number 16. What Christian holiday, also called Whitsunday, or Whitsunday, celebrates the Holy Spirit descending on the apostles and happens on the 50th day after Easter? Carter.
Pentecost?
That is correct. You get to answer the bonus question. What man's plum pudding model of the atom features electrons which he discovered embedded in a sphere of positively charged matter?
Thompson.
That is correct. Thompson, or J.J. Thompson. Joseph John Thompson. Toss-up number 17. What 1882 law formalized the Geary Act in 1892 reacted to fears of coolie labor by banning or excluding immigration from a certain Asian country? Heather.
Chinese Exclusion Act.
That is correct. The Chinese Exclusion Act. You get to answer the bonus question then. What painting set in Spain in 1802 shows a man in white facing a firing squad and was created by Francisco Goya?
Pass.
All right, Brady has passed. Centralia, would you like to steal?
Going to defer to Carter.
Execution of Maximilian III.
That is incorrect. Sorry, players. We were looking for the 3rd of May, 1808. 3rd of May, 1808, or its many translations. Number 18. There are 14 diagonals in what regular polygon whose internal angles each measure about 128.57 degrees and which has one more side than a hexagon? Carter.
Heptagon.
That is correct. We would have also accepted septagon. You get to answer the bonus question. In 1868, what U.S. president was impeached for violating the Tenure of Office Act, but was saved from removal by a single vote?
Johnson.
Gonna need a first name on that.
Andrew Johnson.
That is correct, Braden. Andrew Johnson, not Lyndon B. Number 19. What author of the picture book Sea Prayer wrote about the friendship between Hassan and Amir, boys who grow up in Afghanistan, in The Kite Runner?
Mahfouz.
That is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
No.
We were looking for Khaled Hosseini. Khaled Hosseini. No bonus question this round. What monarch oversaw the annexation of Silesia and supported enlightened absolutism as a great Hohenzollern king of Prussia from 1740 to 1786? Carter.
Frederick the Great.
That is correct. Frederick the Great. So you get to answer the bonus question, Centralia. Uranium-238 is converted into thorium-234 through what process that results in the emission of a particle with mass number 4?
Fission.
That is incorrect. Vienna, would you like to steal?
Alpha decay.
Say again?
Alpha decay.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. Media question. Never mind. The media question is, when is the episode over? And that's now. I answered for you. This has been a great game. Centralia winning with 270 points compared to Vienna's 95. You're so close. Now, this has been a great game for us all here at Scholastic IQ. I have been your host, Dahlia Dahl. Good evening and good night.